I'd like to thank you all for coming to the unofficial FAA update. It appears that we're having a little bit of video problems through our satellite feed. I mean, we're the FAA and we love technology, we just can't get it to work all the time. Anybody who's worked for the FAA knows that. First of all, I want to thank our CTI students who have gone to college for 4 years and spent $100,000 on their education so that they can come and be air traffic controllers. As you know, we've been telling the press that we hire these people at $50,000 a year, and in 5 years they'll be making close to $100,000 at the big facilities. Of course, we know that's not true. We hire them at $8.85 an hour, and then they go to their facilities, and after 5 years of training, if they're lucky, they'll be making $62,000 a year. Now, you managers and frontline managers, you need to know that you are the highest paid management types in the U.S. government. Especially you frontline managers in New York and California, Washington, D.C. Aren't too many jobs out there in the private sector where management types can go in at 7 and leave at 3 o'clock, have a lunch break, work 40 hours a week, get paid $200,000 a year to manage 7 people. Think about that. Most people in the private sector that are management are working 50 hours a week, making half that kind of money. Running like a business, they say? No way. We're going to make sure if you're working 50 hours a week, you're getting paid $150 an hour in overtime. That's what we want to do. Now, there's a couple things we need to talk about. One of them is delays and staffing. As you know, we keep putting out delays. We have delay programs almost every day, and it's due to not enough people, but we can't let the public know that. What we need to tell them is that it's due to volume of traffic, not the fact that we had to combine sectors because we don't have enough experienced controllers working. See, if we did it, if we were honest with them, then we'd be in trouble because we told them we didn't need any more controllers. So we just got to keep telling them it's due to the amount of volume, not to the fact that the sectors have been combined. Which brings us to another thing the controllers were talking about last year. They were talking about them retirements. Yeah, well, let's just say we were a little bit behind the 8 ball on that, and we're working on it. That's why when we tell them that we've hired 1,400 controllers this year, or 1,200 controllers this year, we don't tell them that they're controllers in training. We tell them they're controllers. That way they think that the guy that retired's been replaced. Because, you know, if people find out that the guy that's retired is being replaced by somebody who's in training, it makes us look really, really bad. So we have to keep telling the press that we hired 1,100 controllers last year, and we got 30 more controllers than we started with, no matter what the FAA Administrator's Fact Book says. Now, as you know, the FAA is working on a reauthorization bill for 2007. We're going to try and shovel this thing through Congress really quick. We've taken a lot of input from the airlines. Now, we all know that they don't know how to run a business, but we're taking their advice anyway. And truth be known, they don't really pay taxes. They just collect them. What we're hoping to do is start our new modernization program for the next 25 years. Hopefully it'll be as successful as one that we had for the last 25 years. You see, after the PATCO strike, we decided to start our modernization program. We had a budget of $3.5 billion, that's billion with a B, to modernize the air traffic system, eliminate some of these controllers. A couple of years ago, before Congress, we had to testify, and we told them we were $35 billion and still counting. Well, that's $32 billion over budget, and about 5% of those projects got done. The bulk of them were canceled. We had one project we'd spent $10 billion on that we canceled. The amount of monies we wasted on cost overruns and canceled programs since the start of the 1982 modernization program is more than we spent on the total controller workforce salaries since 1982. I think that's a pretty good milestone. Well, you think those 25 years were good. The next 25 are going to be better because we're going to spend $75 billion on technology that probably won't work. Now, there have been a lot of questions about resignations of new hires. We've had some resignations, whether they've been the CTI students or VRA new hires. At Albuquerque Center, we've had 7 go back to their old DOD jobs, apparently for the money. We're changing our recruiting avenues and hope to. We're still thinking about doing something on YouTube. We're on MySpace, doing Monster, all the youthful internet hotspots, so to speak. We've lowered the standards slightly. We are no longer strictly going through the CTI program. Let me stress that. We can recruit these people any way we can. We need to get them in the system. We do expect that the failure rate will increase. How much, we're not sure. It could be as high as 70%. You need to be aware of that. You frontline managers can expect to work more and be on your toes more. We expect that probably operational errors may increase under the training scenario like they did, like they have been out at Denver Center. Please be vigilant during the training sessions. We need to get these people checked out. We need to get them trained. We need to start working harder to get this system back where we want it to be. Just a quick word on the Comair crash in Lexington last year. As you know, we saved about $35,000 to $40,000 when Duff was staffing the facility with one controller on the midnight shift. We knew what was going on because we have the CrewX program, and as some of you managers know, headquarters knows when somebody has extended their lunch break beyond the appropriate time. Some managers have gotten phone calls to that effect, wanting to know why somebody is 5 minutes over their lunch break. We have this in real time. It's a great program. It allows us to make sure everybody's time on position is where it needs to be and what people are doing. As far as the Comair crash goes, unfortunately from headquarters a statement was made shortly after the accident that a second controller would have been working the radar function and not in the tower. That is probably true. Unfortunately, the lone controller was working 2 aircraft on radar, an Eagle flight and a SkyWest flight, while Comair was taxiing to the wrong runway. He was not able to dedicate his full attention to the Comair flight because he was working the radar function. This is a $200 million deal. We do not know how it's going to shake out. If you get any questions concerning this accident, you need to refer them to the appropriate avenues. Now, some of you are wondering why we have this update. This is all about control. It's about control of information to the public, control of information to the press. It's about enforcing our implied work rules, which we like to call a contract, onto the workforce so that we can control their schedules, their vacations, and we can control the way they dress and think. We can do this. We don't need to negotiate with anybody. This is not about negotiations. This is about control. We will control this the way we want to control it. And it will go the way we want it to go.